Hello and welcome to PRTV Spurs. You're in for a treat today because we have the Spurs v Burnley reaction and the Spurs versus Manchester City preview show. So what we waiting for? Let's get the road, or even the show, on the road. Good afternoon and welcome to PRTV Spurs, your channel for everything to do with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. 3 games to go now. In fact, 2 games to go. Manchester City at home and Sheffield United away. However, just before we go into them, we had a game on Saturday against Burnley at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs 2, Burnley 1. Everybody expected it to be an easy victory. However, as always, this is Tottenham and we don't make it easy. Joining me to do the reaction and the preview is, as always, Sam, Spurs for Life. Good afternoon, Sam. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Enjoying the weather, out doing some bits and pieces. There's a lot of outside stuff to be done in this weather. So yeah, all good.
A lot of outside stuff to be done. I like that. Not a lot, but I like that. A lot of outside stuff to be done. We done the preview for the Burnley game. And by the way, wherever you're watching us on social media or whatever format, please, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel PRTV Spurs, Paxton Road TV. As always, we can continue bringing you all the great content. So give us a follow. We done the preview and we said it was going to be a tough game. On an easy game, we should get the 3 points. And like you said, doesn't matter how we get the 3 points, get the 3 points. Wasn't very good, was it really? But we got the 3 points, right?
So I think we discussed, I was saying to you, maybe we could do like a little reaction after the game, just a quick 5 minutes. I didn't even have 5 minutes worth of conversation to do. Each time I started, it's like, oh God, not really much to say, because I think we kind of called the game. We said it was going to be tough. It wasn't going to be the easiest game. Burnley had something to play for. Spurs obviously nervous, 4 losses on the bounce. But how can you really get excited about a home game against Burnley, who were 19th, who are pretty much relegated probably since about January, February time? They've not been outside that bottom 3 for as long as I can remember. So, you know, fans saying, oh, we should be happy about a victory. Well, we should be happy that we didn't have 5 losses on the trot. That would have been horrendous going into the City game. But now, I guess from my own perspective, I can slightly relax because, as I said, I don't think there's anything much more we can really discuss about this season, because I think we'll be 5th from where we are now.
Yeah, and like you said, we did say we was going to do one. I just couldn't have the energy to do it, to be fair.
I didn't. It was horrible.
Yeah, but if you haven't already seen it, our very own Sean, Tottenham to Fossey 61, did post an instant reaction straight from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, straight after the game, and it's already up on YouTube. So if you haven't already seen it, just give it a quick gander and obviously give it a like and put your comments on it. But yeah, our very own Sean did do one. Right, so we discussed this and we're obviously going to just go through it quite quickly then. So Spurs 2, Burnley 1, as it was, Sam. Right, I've done it differently today. I'm not doing the first half, second half, because sort of I've just done it overall. 63% possession to Burnley's 37. We had 21 shots at home to Burnley 7. Shots off target 6. They had 2. On target we had 9. They had 3. Shots in and outside the box. Spurs had 16 in and 5 out. They had 6 on 1. 547 passes. Excuse me. 88% success rate. They had 318 at 74%. Passes in the opposite half, we had 286 passes in the opposite half, and they had 77. So obviously they came to sit, like you did say, and 45 we had in their box. They had 12. So overall, just gonna add to this comment from Dino. So Dino, yeah, you cannot comment on Sean's action video. Yeah, on YouTube, if you make it available to everyone, including kids, doesn't allow you to pick comments in there. So I don't know. It is what it is with YouTube. Sam, we did expect this was going to happen. Spurs at home against Burnley, and if Vincent Kompany done his homework, he was going to come and sit back and do us on the counter, which they did when they scored their first goal. This sort of summarizes really what we did say on the previous show, doesn't it?
Pans out pretty much exactly as I think it was probably a little bit more desperate to get the win in the end than it should have been, but again, it was a tougher game than it should have been as well. They went 1-0 up in a very similar way to a lot of teams having scored against us. Mistakes leading to, you know, spaces at the back, Skip trying to get back to catch a guy, trying to throw a tackle in the last minute in the box. They scored from it, and it seems like that was about their first or second attempt. They didn't have that many shots on target anyway, so it just kind of played into that narrative. And the similar type of thing, you expect these players to react. I guess they did in the second half more so. We did get the goal back fairly quickly from Paul, which is a fantastic strike, by the way. No one can take that away. But I'd be questioning my keeper slightly, although it was past him in a flash. But we just made hard work of it, Sid. And I think that making hard work of it against Burnley, even though we knew it was going to be hard work, just kind of makes us seem like we're geniuses, because we could kind of see that this was going to happen. Well, at least, you know, knowing that it was going to be a tough game. Yeah,
it was one of them performances. I mean, you know what? When that goal didn't go in for us and then they scored, I had to walk out. I thought, do you know what? This is ridiculous, man. This is... And then I missed our goal. Yeah, I missed our goal. So that's just summed it up. And I thought, here we go again. It's just like you said, didn't you, on the preview show? Groundhog Day. Bill Murray, where are you? Because we've seen it before. We've seen it again, week in, week out. It just doesn't change. Take that. Everything changes but Spurs. You know, we're 1,000 miles apart. But it was. In terms of the team then, he picked Vicar. Obviously, we sort of said, well, actually, I nailed the team, to be fair. This is what I said he would pick. And this was the actual team that he picked with Johnson. He's got 2 Johnsons, yeah? But I didn't.
Yeah, 2 Johnsons there.
We had Richarlison up top, didn't we? But then obviously we didn't realise he was going to be out injured. And then we found out. So this is the team that he played. Overall then, what did you make of that starting lineup and their performance in the first half ish?
I found, like I said, Burnley had a complete game plan. So you don't expect them to have loads of the ball. I didn't expect them to have chance after chance after chance in the first half, but I did expect them to try and, you know, play off the transitions. They kept the ball in decent possession at times, but they're 19th in the table for a reason. They're a little bit, what's the word, nervous, because, you know, to try and get a result with Spurs is going to be difficult to stay up, and effectively they didn't. But the team itself, I guess the main thing that I wanted to make sure that we didn't see was Emerson Royal at left back, and I was happy for that. I knew Skip wouldn't be able to play that role fantastically well from a defensive perspective, and I think the goal kind of proved that. Yeah. But certainly him having the ability to play midfield, create a little bit more than what Emerson would have done, probably helped. But left side, being a right footer, I don't think the balance was quite there. I don't think the link-up play in terms of him and Johnson down that side was going to work, because we obviously know that Johnson doesn't play that well down the left. And it was just, we can kind of get through this game because they weren't as good quality-wise. So I think had we played a team like Man City, which we're discussing in a little while, it might have been a different scenario. But I think he's now realised that Skips can't play at left back. He's going to have to do something with that left side. And I think we'll probably know what that situation is going to be come the game against City. But, you know, it was okay. I wasn't over the gloating about any of these players. Like I said, a lot of them have got much more to prove than they have, you know, shown us already. Sarr, Bissouma, Maddison all have more to prove. Sarr, I'll give him a little bit, but Maddison and Bissouma still for me have got a lot more to come.
I think for in the case for Burnley, I think they got their goal too early, and I think once they got that goal, they just thought, oh shit, now what do? We've got 1-0 up, we've got 70, 80 minutes ish, or was it whatever it was, to contend with Spurs at home in front of their fans. What we're going to do, because they knew Spurs were going to come out, and he's not stupid, Vincent Kompany. He knows how Spurs operate second half. So I think he probably wanted that goal to come with about 10 minutes to go, not that early in the game. And it was always going to be a battle for them. And like you said, you know, Skip was a bit found out for that first goal, but I think he still had a decent game, or ball over the top. It's not his natural position, but
the problem being, I think it was a mistake on that right-hand side, if I remember rightly. Did Porro, he either got caught in possession or got skipped past quite, pardon the pun, got skipped past quite easily. So when that happens, again, what we've talked about before, because of the system of play that we have, both our fullbacks are high up the pitch. And again, that's the little bit of balances that we need to kind of address, because we all know that Skip's not the most mobile to get around the pitch. So to play in a position where you're expecting him to have to track back each time we make a mistake, or each time the opposition gets an opportunity in that area, I think it's going to be difficult for someone that's not naturally that side. But again, this is how we're going to play. We just need to know now how we're going to fill that position in when we don't have Emerson Royal playing there, which we shouldn't have. Ben Davies, which we shouldn't have. And that's New Doggy, who's obviously out for the season. Let's see how we go in the next game.
And I think this common theme after Saturday's game, as Jodi said, it was, my God, that was hard work. Dinosaur saying exactly the same. That was hard work, lads. And another common theme they're saying about, obviously, is Kulu played the false 9 before and keeps Son and Johnson in their best positions. No brainer.
Kulu shouldn't even be starting, in my opinion. I'm not sure what everybody's trying to say about Kulu. I don't know what Angie's actually trying to do with Kulu, trying to just force him into this team. Why? Why are we doing that?
Yeah. And then, obviously, our crossing was wayward, embarrassing at times. And Judi saying Son played better on the left, put Kulu up front as our target man. This crossing bit, I want to bring that up because I don't know about you, but there was one in particular where I think it was Johnson, or was it Pedro Porro, went down the right, done all the hard work, and the man's not even looked into the box to see if there's any player there, and he's just crossed the ball in, and there was not a sausage in that box. Are these guys not drilled to look as a professional? You've done coaching before. My boy plays football. He's a winger. Are you not supposed to look in the box first to see, am I crossing the ball to someone? Or are you just going down the line, doing the hard work, and then just booting the ball in the box, thinking, oh, yeah, someone's going to be there? Yeah, all season, we have not had a number 9. We've not had anyone in that box. Even when Son's played that position, nobody's ever in that box. And like Ju said, why are we trying to do these crosses or whatever? It's shocking. Corners. I thought we finished with corners when Lo Celso and them lot weren't playing. But Maddison's just as bad with corners. We are shocking at corners. We are shocking at set pieces.
Nothing to see here.
Exactly. Nothing to see. However, we're shocking taking them. We're shocking defending them. So, I don't know. Honestly, I just want the season to get finished and then we get some proper crosses of the ball coming in.
There's so much. I'm not going to say that Andrew hasn't said that. There's a lot to do. And he says there's a lot to do, particularly in that front third. But I think there's a lot to do in general. There's a lot to do in the transfer market. There's a lot to do in terms of players to leave the club. Yeah. There's a lot to do in coaching. Now, one of the reasons you just mentioned about this crossing thing is that's how they've been coached. They've been coached to do that. So again, this is what I'm saying about players and intelligence. Now, I don't doubt that Brennan Johnson, Kulusevski, all these players have a level of intelligence, but football intelligence is something different. It's the same as you say in any walk of life as someone who's very clever, but have they got common sense? And this is my same sort of analogy I'm going to use for football players. You have players who have football intelligence, Now, if you're just coached, right, we're going to get to the byline or we're going to let crosses in, that's great. But usually in training, you've got people in that box. And if you don't, your coach stops it. Hold on, right, you need to do this. There's no player in the box. What do you think you could have done better? And then they go, oh, boss, maybe I should hold the ball or maybe dribble past the player, blah, blah, blah. These players don't have the football intelligence. So Brendan Johnson's seeing he's going to make a cross into the box when there's no one there. It's not because there's no one there, I'm going to cross it. It's just a bit, that's all he's been coached to do. So he's almost like it's automatic. It's not a case of, I need to look up, what do I need to do? Reassess. And this is the problem. They're so drilled in that sense that both him, Son, and Kulusevski look like they're just playing off what they've been told to do and nothing else. I expect Son to be, as a player of that level of intelligence, and the captain, to do something different. When he played on left, he was a lot better because he does things a little bit differently. He does get to the byline, does try and cut in. And because he's both-footed, he can take shots off both feet. Johnson doesn't have that ability, as we saw from the goal. He's right-footed and he couldn't score from a yard out. So what we expecting from these players, as I keep on saying, it's all about quality. Our whole philosophy and system relies on having quality all throughout the 13, 14, 15, 16 players that we're going to need to mount any sort of challenge for anything next season.
Substitutions wise then, I don't even know what's going on here.
A bit like our team, that's what it is. It's just a kind of like, just whatever.
So this obviously these were the substitutions that he made. The first three he made was Scarlett, Bentancur, and Dragusin. I think he was playing notes and crosses, isn't he? Because he's got 3 in a row there. Well done. You got it right. And then obviously he brought Højbjerg on. And Lo Celso, the player who wants to leave, but we want to keep him for another 2 years, gets 4 minutes a game. Yeah, gets 4 minutes. And he's saying, I want to give him an extension to his contract.
Has Ange said that, or is that just in the news?
I think it's come from the club that they want to give him a 2-year, but I don't know how true that is. But anyway, that was that. Obviously, like you said, the common sense was to take Skip off, bring on Dragusin to play left-sided when he's not left-sided, but he done all right. And then Van der Ven to score left side. I'm not going to say anything more, but our defenders are embarrassing, our strikers. What a finish from Van der Ven. Fucking hell.
Poro's not bad as well.
Poro's, do you know what, with Poro, you know what he's going to do. He doesn't want to score these easy taps. He wants to do the Roberto Carlos or typical left back bolts from outside the box goals or inside the box, yeah? You give him a tap in, he probably won't do it. He'll probably take it outside the box and then bang it in, yeah? But again, great finish from Pedro Porro, but you got to sort of blame the keeper for that one. But Van der Ven, this is now, remember we discussed this, and I think you said it, about footballing brains. Are these players told to do certain things? And at certain points of the game, Romero's done it a few times, take the game by the scruff of the neck and said, fuck this, I'm going to do this my way and I'm going to go forward. Hence the goal against Arsenal, Romero. Van der Ven, when he went on the left side, he thought, fuck this, I'm going to go up. And he made some cracking runs. And then to do what he did with that goal, what an unbelievable finish. Even a fucking Harry Kane or whoever, number 9, would be proud of that. Because the way he, off balance, just passed it into the back of the net. Freaking hell. Make him striker against Man City.
Now, if my memory serves me correctly, he has scored. Is that his 3rd goal he scored this season, potentially?
Yeah, I think it is 3.
There was one, I don't know if it was against Wolves, which is a good, smart finish early on in the season. And then there was that banger that he scored when he got passed into the box. He just literally left-footed. It was unstoppable. And again, this finish proved that he's got football intelligence. You don't score a goal like that unless you have football intelligence. He's left-footed, we know. He's on his stronger foot. But to get onto his stronger foot, to put that into that corner, requires a degree of intelligence and also, the physicality to be able to do that at pace, as they were saying in the commentary. And the goals that he scored previously to that have also been goals that I would look at and saying that's someone who can actually finish. There's now a massive problem, and we're going to have uncomfortable conversations in a positive sense, I guess it's a positive sense, but it's probably negative sense, about Van der Ven. He shouldn't be in our team. And I say that because, no, that's wrong. I think I'm going to rephrase that. We have now got a problem because if he shows that level of ability in a team like what we've got, can you imagine at Man City? Can you imagine at somewhere like Real Madrid? Can you imagine at any of them top European teams? You'd fit into any of them because he has the assets, the qualities to be able to play in any system, I believe, because the top modern footballers need pace, they need football intelligence, they need to have the physicality, all of those aspects I think he's got, and now he just needs experience. But what he's shown me in terms of his ability, imagine that. Look what Guardiola's doing at Man City. If Pep had him as well, oh, Jesus Christ. Imagine that.
Do you know the other thing? And Dino is saying here, did our back five hit any balls over the top at any point to change it up and feed Son and Johnson? Dino, we've said this all season. We do not. We've said it how many times? We had two of the fastest players in the Prem in Johnson and Werner. We don't pass it long to them. We don't do it. They don't want, and we've said this time and time again, they want to score that perfect goal. We've got the players, we've got the ability from the defenders or the midfielders to ping that ball on to the flanks for our wingers to run onto. But like we've said, they've been told, they've been drilled not to do it and to go around, pass the Dutchie to the left-hand side kind of thing, yeah? And that's all they're doing. But we need, this is Angie's, I don't know if it's a problem or not. He doesn't like to mix it up. There's a game plan, he's got a master plan A, and that's it. Other teams move it around, swing it, long ball game. If you have to do it, ping it over the top. If you've got fast players, Arsenal have done it. City do it if they need to. Why don't we do it, Sam?
Again, it comes down to the coaching and the philosophy and all the rest of it, and also the players. We can't take away from the players. We've said this before, and we talked about set pieces in that sense. If it's not working zonally every time and they're scoring each time, on the pitch, you might have to make a decision as a captain, as a player. Right, we need to do something different here. Let's mark a couple players who are the best headers of the ball, or let's change the zone and put somebody who's a bit bigger in a position where the ball's actually arriving all the time. If it's at the front post, why have your smallest man? What, and things like that. So again, it goes to the same thing about these goals, about how we play in terms of not looking for the space over. It doesn't make any sense to me to keep doing the same things with substandard players at this moment and players who are not confident to keep doing that same thing. It's easy to play a ball over the top. What is the one thing that Johnson and Son have at this present time is pace. Werner had pace. Werner's not going to score you 25 goals, beating men and knocking into the top corner. So plays to his strengths. The problem that we've got is the strengths of our players are not that strong. So Johnson's strengths are not that strong. He's got pace, but I don't think he's got much else. And I'm using him now, and as the same way I've used Timo Werner. The wide players in our system have to be super quality because that allows us to play the game. If you play out because we want to score the perfect goal through the middle, and you've got duds out on the wing, other teams, as they've been shown, and I've shown in the 4-4-2 video, you just defend the central area. So if your wide players don't have anything about them, they're not going to get down the sides. It don't matter. So we've just got to mix the game up, and play to our strengths with the players that we have at this moment in time.
Absolutely. And I think Maddison done quite well this time around because he was given a little bit more, especially when Son went left and Johnson moved over. It gives Maddison that little bit of freedom. But we've said it all along. So overall then, Sam, you said it on the preview. We've just got to win that game at any cost. Doesn't matter whether it's good football or whatever football. We've not seen that much of good football anyway. But at the end of the day, it was a win, especially with Newcastle drawing. Now we just need the 1 point in 2 games. So overall then on that game, happy with the 3 points because I am. At the end of the day, like I said, I missed a Poro goal. I saw the Van der Ven one. It was the same old Groundhog Day. Wake up in the morning, going to Tottenham. Yes, come home. Yeah, same old, lie out of bed again. I'm hoping tomorrow's probably going to be the same as well. So I was just happy with the 3 points, to be fair. I'm not that bothered. Yourself?
It wasn't even so much the 3 points, it was that horrendous run that we've been on of 4 losses. And the amount of conversation that would have been had we lost that. Even if we'd have drawn that game to Burnley, who were relegated, 19th in the table, would have been non-stop. And going into the City game, I just think the chat would have been too much. And yeah, I'm glad we won that game just for the perspective of stopping the talk. The talk will continue throughout the summer, but let's hope that they put in the same performance against City, but not the same result.
Yeah, this is it. So there was another game yesterday at 4 o'clock, and everybody expected Man United to try and get something against Arsenal, which obviously was never going to happen, to be fair. However, throughout that whole commentary, it just seemed like they want Arsenal to win that league because, oh, Saka, oh, Odegaard. And he was only just walking onto the pitch. But anyway, Arsenal won, so it now takes the game into the final game of the season for them. And throughout the whole Arsenal-Man United game, can Tottenham beat Man City? Can Tottenham? Can Tottenham? Can Tottenham? Can Tottenham? But Man United, can Tottenham stop Man City winning the league and handing the title to their fiercest rivals? But yesterday at Old Trafford, remind me, Sam, if I'm wrong, Arsenal were playing Manchester United, correct? Who are Manchester United's fiercest opponents that live down the road? Manchester City. Did you ever hear it in that game yesterday? Oh, will Man United roll over so that Man City don't win the title? I never heard it once. Not once did they say, oh, Man United are not doing any, they're not doing their City any favours by giving Arsenal a tough game or trying to win this game. No, it's all on Tottenham, isn't it? Because Tottenham don't want Arsenal to win the league, but Man United fans didn't want Man City to win the league. So these commentaries and these pundits and all this, it's so biased. It's so one way. Honestly, I would love it. I would just love it if we did roll over on tomorrow night. Yeah, because they're all just thinking it's all about Tottenham. But yesterday, Man United didn't even show any interest of trying to beat Arsenal. What did you make of that?
Conspiracy theories could have a field day with this one. Look how Man United played against the 3 games against Liverpool. The 2 league games, I think they got 2 draws. And they beat them in the FA Cup as well to get to the final. And they played out their skins. They literally did. I remember that FA Cup game was a wild one. Even the draw that they got when people said they was looking at 7s and 8s, they turned up. They turned up. Yesterday, they huffed and puffed.
Yeah.
But they didn't really look like they were going to score many goals. Arsenal look nervous, and obviously they will be. It's the second to last game of the season for them, and they're in a chance to win the league. But they again, it was a boring game if I'm honest with you. But the same sort of thing. Their nerves kind of kicked in, but they did what they needed to do. But Man United didn't play anywhere like they played against Liverpool. Their fiercest rivals. They didn't want them to win the league. They stopped that in effect.
Yeah.
City's the next biggest, or probably as joint biggest with Liverpool now because of the amount of City's doing in the city. And so, again, it would have been convenient for them not to have put in the best of performances or a winning performance yesterday. Conspiracy theory around.
Yeah.
We're going to probably go tomorrow win a fucking game, and that would piss me off. It really would, because that's so Tottenham. It's so Tottenham. And Andrew come out and say, well, I'm not bothered about Arsenal winning a league. Well, you better be bothered, mate. You really, and if I hear any of our players before say, in any sort of social media to come out and say, oh, we're just playing for, no, I don't care. I want Maddison to come out and say, listen, I don't really want Arsenal to win the league, but I'm going to be professional here. But being professional doesn't mean you have to go out and put all the effort in. If they ain't put the effort in against Newcastle, against Liverpool, against all them other teams when we needed to put the effort in, I don't want to see the same effort trying to go in to win a game tomorrow.
You know what? I've got a different theory as well, but I'll tell you that later. But yeah, I agree, and that sort of so pissed me off yesterday because the narratives and, like you said, the conspiracy theories and all that, and Not once did they bring that up, and that really pissed me off. But anyway, if you're all joining us, please, we've got quite a lot of people watching now. Please, if you haven't already subscribed or followed the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And however you want to look at it, tomorrow it's a massive game for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. We are playing the Champions Elite, the champions of the Prem, Manchester City at home, which is the rearranged. Did anyone ever think that penultimate game of the season, Tottenham Hotspur were going to have a massive say in where the title could end up going? It even meaning handing it to them down the road. Yeah, handing it to them down the road. I don't want them to hand it to them down the road. However, we haven't turned up for 35 games this season for full 90 minutes. Do Tottenham actually turn up for 90 minutes tomorrow at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at the final home game of the season? And I mean full 90, because we've only turned up in 45-minute spells here and there. Sam, I know you're dreading it. I know every other Spurs fans are dreading tomorrow's performance. So let's get into this then. Manchester City coming to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And you'll like this. Not a lot, but actually you will like this. Well, actually, no, you're not going to like it, Sam. And the Tottenham fans are not going to like this, yeah? 53 meetings. Spurs have won 28. Manchester City have won 17. Spurs have won 17 at home. They have won 6 at our stadium. 11 at the Etihad and 11 draws. 11 away wins. 8 draws, Sam.
Well, I'm hoping that is the reverse of what we obviously see all the time. Remember when our record is really bad against the team, we might do well. And when it's really good, we do rubbish the game we're going to play in. And I've seen this plenty of times. Obviously, with the Chelsea game, I said that quite wrong. When we're bad against a team, we're bad. We stay bad. Like Liverpool and Chelsea. We've got a bad record against them. It pans out for Spurs. Always does. We've got a great record against City. You'd think we'd go on tomorrow and that should be, well, you want to win. But you don't really want to win tomorrow because of what we've talked about. But that's a pretty good record. And even in recent times against Pep team, with the manager that we've had, and it goes back to the Jose days, we've had decent victories and decent results against Manchester City. 11 home wins.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so, previous 5 then. 15th of August 2021, Spurs 1, Man City 0. 19th of February 2022 at the Etihad, Spurs 3, Man City 2. 19th of January 2023 at the Etihad, we lost 4-2. 5th of Feb 2023 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Spurs 1-0. 3rd of December 2023, you know what it was, Etihad. What was it, Sam? You remember this one?
Wasn't that the draw? The 3-3 draw. Kulusevski, the last, whatever it was. Yeah. So
3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. This is the one where you're not going to like it, Sam. Our last 5 home games against Manchester City. Guess what it is? 2019, Spurs 1, Man City 0. February 2020, Spurs 1, Spurs 2, Man City 0. 21 November 2020, Spurs 2, Man City 0. 15th of August 2021, guess what, Sam? 1-0 to Spurs. 5th of February 2023, Spurs 1.
Oh no, we won, didn't we?
Man City 0. Harry Kane broke the record. So we've had 4 managers in the last 5 meetings at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Pochettino, Mourinho, Nuno, Santos even beat Man City and Conte. 5 wins on the bounce, last 5 games.
Scored a goal against us.
We haven't scored. They haven't scored 1 goal against us.
They've not had 1 goal against us.
We're going to win tomorrow, aren't we?
And I think all of those games are Pep's in charge. If we're right, Pep was there. Was he 2019? Or was it just after? Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. I just don't know what to say. Because normally you'd think to yourself, in any other Any other situation in life, you'd say, come on, Spurs, we can do this. Look at that record. We're going to go on. And you think, oh, it's going to be a great game. We don't want it to be a great game tomorrow. I don't want to see these players have a 6th win on the trot against City. I don't. And I'm going to tell you the truth, people, because it gives Arsenal the best opportunity they're ever going to have of winning this league whilst Pep's here. They'll never have a better opportunity to win this league, in my opinion, because people argue that obviously next season, I disagree, because I think other teams will be better and I think other teams will have more of a say in it. But 5 wins on the trot against City without them scoring, any fucking team in world football would say that is a fantastic record, and we've got it. Madness.
But in hindsight, we do concede now a lot, and this is a Man City team. So if they fail to score against us tomorrow, then it's shocking. You know what I mean?
They don't deserve to win the league. If they fail to score against us tomorrow, they don't deserve to win the league. But exactly. I will say this: they've won or not lost in the last 20 odd games in the league. That's a tough record to maintain. But when it's Manchester City going for the last 2 games of the season, you expect them to maintain that. You expect them to go through the last 2 games. And
exactly.
Win. Even if it's against us. I'm not going to try and sit here and say that they're not favourites. They should be favourites to win that game tomorrow.
And it's written in the stars, million miles away. Message to the Gooners.
Look at the chat, though. Look at some of the chat, what Jews is saying.
I know. Look at this. And it's a message to the Gooners. We're going to lose tomorrow. If we win tomorrow, Angie is out 100%. Have Emerson to start tomorrow. You're going to love my team, Sam, by the way. You're going to love...
We should be starting Mikey Moore. We should be starting Dane Scarlett. We should be starting Emerson Royal. Do you know what I mean? We should just throw them all in. But then the league will say, oh, that's not competitive. Oh, you not know. And we can't do it in that. So Angie's stuck.
No,
you should be starting Lo Celso. And then people would say, oh, what's going on? You're starting Lo Celso. Why are you starting? But I would be starting these players because I'd make the excuse. Go on.
I was going to say, teams do that in the cup. They don't complain about it when they make changes to the team. So if we make a changes tomorrow, it is what it is, isn't it? Yes. Previous 5 then games. Tottenham won 1, lost 4. Yeah.
They should have 5 victories on there, I think.
And they've got 5.
This is gonna happen, isn't it? I can fucking feel this shit. I can feel this bullshit happening. But no.
Shall we just end the stream?
No. We gotta think. Let's think logically.
No, look, we got beat by Newcastle 4-0. We got beat by Arsenal 3-2. We got beat by Chelsea 2-0. We got beat by Liverpool 4-2, and then we beat Burnley 2-1. We didn't play well. We've already done the talks on all them lot, right? So we'll leave that. They've won 5-1 at Luton, 4-0 at Brighton, 2-0 at Forest, 5-1 at Wolves, and 4-0, which everyone thought Fulham would be a tough game on Saturday, but they made not hard work of it. And Guardiola scored 2 and could have had a hat-trick. So this is, like you said, an informed Man City team. Now, Haaland's not scoring. Well, he did against Fulham, hat-trick, Wolves at a hat-trick, but I'm not bothered about him. It's Foden and all them lot. Guardiola's not even scoring goals. So technically, the way we're playing, the way they're playing, we should not be winning this game tomorrow.
Listen, let's take out all the, the bias that we have being Spurs fans. If you look at that record itself, just go back to it. They've conceded Manchester City 2 goals. They've conceded 2 goals.
Yeah.
They've scored 5, 10, 18, 20 goals in 5 games. Just look to the left of that. How many goals have we conceded, let alone scored? Conceded.
Yeah, 1,
4,
5,
8.
7,
that's
10, 14.
In 5 games.
In 5.
And we beat the only team that we beat there of any significance, not even significance. The only team we've beaten there was a team that was in 19th in the league. Liverpool away, you can accept, I guess, to a degree, but we didn't put on any performance until the last 20 minutes. I can't forgive the Chelsea one, even though Chelsea are doing better. We just didn't turn up again. Arsenal, last 20 minutes, same thing. We could have possibly got a draw, but Arsenal had taken their foot off the gas. They're taking the foot off the gas, and they were literally coasting. And the Newcastle was embarrassing. So I expect if that whole scenario plays out, the team is going for the league when we haven't got anything to play for, when these players are actually thinking, do we actually need to put any effort in? When we didn't do that, they're not thinking that they didn't put any effort in the games, but in our minds, they didn't put the effort in. Why would they turn up tomorrow and actually try to beat Man City, in a sense where they're competing against them?
Yeah. Do you know what? In all honesty, I don't want us to lose the game on purpose. They're professional footballers, and I think the players don't want to go there and not turn up. Yeah, they've got contracts. They're playing for a club. The fans probably will be happy for Spurs to get beat tomorrow, obviously, for whatever the main reason is them not down the road, not winning the league. Fans will probably be expecting the same as Juicy saying here, even at the where's it gone? Andrew, I think logically Andrew will play the usual way and not deviate. So we will play the usual way, but you're playing against a City, right, who should be able to bypass us, dissect us, do whatever to win that game. Comfortably, maybe not. I don't expect us to roll over for them. I expect us to continue playing, like you said, Groundhog Day. We wake up, we go to the game, and we don't expect anything. Yes, I don't expect us to score at the Paxton Road end again, because they scored the Poor Road the other day, and that was it. So I don't want us to roll over, as in just not turn up. Yeah?
No.
You know what I mean? And
exactly.
For pride,
I agree with you.
Yeah, for pride, for everything, I don't expect them to do that. I won't be pissed off with them, but I expect them to turn up and play.
Sid, what we don't want to have tomorrow, regardless of the score, is I don't want these players to turn up with fighting spirit, like we're going to have to beat Manchester City at all costs because of blah, blah. I don't want us to be showing that if we didn't show that in the games when we had to show that. We had to show that against Liverpool. We were supposed to show that against Chelsea. We were supposed to do that against Arsenal. We were supposed to do that against Newcastle. We didn't. None of those games did we show enough fight. And even if you take into consideration the Arsenal 3-2 and possibly even the Liverpool 4-2, where we did kind of have that little bit of fight with 15-20, that was all too late. And those other teams had literally coasted towards the line. Now, if we play our normal football tomorrow, City will have a game plan to counteract our football, because Pep Guardiola does not give a fuck about changing a certain principle in his way he plays to get the result. I've seen that this season already. He doesn't change his philosophy, but he does know they're going to leave spaces. That's what this is all about. Where can you find the space to be able to create your opportunities? They've got much better wingers than us. And where's the space in our team when we have the ball? In the wing, wide areas. They should have a field day tomorrow. Foden should have a field day. If it's Grealish, I think he's out, but Doku or whoever it is on that left-hand side should have a field day against Porro. I can't see anything other than a Man City win in logical terms, but in Spursy terms.
But then if you go back to that previous page, last five games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, they haven't scored a goal. But again, that will change. Even in the FA Cup, it took them the 90th minute to score a goal. But
Sid, 20 goals they've scored in the last 5 games. If they don't score against us, City, and I will say this now, do not deserve to win the league. If they can't score against us, knowing that we haven't kept a clean sheet in the last, 20 something games in the league?
26, 27, yeah. Yeah, of course.
It would be an absolute mind fuck if City don't score. The team that's got 20 goals in the last 5 trying to win the league.
Exactly. And since yesterday now, all these lot down the road, they've all now become Tottenham fans, aren't they? They're all like, they've been slagging Tottenham off. They've been not saying a word. And all of a sudden now they're like Oliver Twist. Please, Tottenham, can you beat Man City for us? Please. Look, Luca, who's been on our stream for a while, actually, AFC fan, is saying, please beat City. Yeah, right, Luca. But then again, he's then looked at it logically and thought, actually, I can't see it. But it is what it is, you see. You lot thought I came to support you guys. Look, they would say, where's he gone? You okay? I thought
I come and support you guys.
I thought you covered. Okay,
You
big
guys
passive game.
okay?
Liverpool would need beats Villa, give Spurs confidence, but Man City will win 3-1. There you go. You see. So
Liverpool will probably beat Villa. The problem
Yeah.
being, and I'll give this scenario to people. This, and this could happen. It could happen. We could fucking beat Manchester City tomorrow and
We
give
could.
everybody hope that Arsenal could win.
and then
all
get
the
beat to
Arsenal
Sheffield
fans.
United last game. Of
And
the
then we
season.
get beat at Sheffield United on the last day. That's what I was going to say. They're going to beat Villa, Liverpool, Villa, and then we're like, oh, we can make top four, and then we'll fucking not win on the last day. Which makes no sense. And this is Spurs. And this is what I'm saying about logic here. If you think about it logically, we shouldn't be winning these last two games. Not because we shouldn't win, because we don't play the football to win the games, but it's the actual context in what they're playing in. Manchester City are trying to win the league for a fourth time in a row, and they haven't lost in the last 20 games, and they've scored 20 goals in the last 5. We've been shockingly bad. Sheffield United are having a party. They're down. What does it matter? What does it matter? The sunshine might be out next Saturday or Sunday, and everybody's having a party, drinking up in Sheffield, because I know what it's like in Sheffield. Oh, they'll be having some drinks early doors.
And then watch them bring that blade out and slash Tottenham and get the victory. But
that's what I'm saying. So I hope none of that happens. I hope we don't beat City. I hope Liverpool, if they beat Villa, we don't have an opportunity for this top 4 because we'll only F it up anyway. And I don't want to see Arsenal win the league. I'm not going to lie, people. I don't want Arsenal to win the league. I don't care. I don't care about any throwing the... No, I don't want us to throw the game. Start Emerson and roll at left back. This is the only time I will say this tomorrow. Start him at left back.
Yeah. Right, so let's have a look at the season so far. For Tottenham fans not interested now, we want the season to continue how it's been continuing all season for this one actual game. Season so far then, 5th, Manchester City 2nd. 19 games Spurs have won. They've won 26. Draws 6, Tottenham 7. They have drawn 7, Spurs have drawn 6. We've lost 11, they've lost 3 games. Average goal scored, Tottenham 1.97, they've scored 2.56. Average goals conceded, 1.64 to their 0.92. 6 clean sheets, they've kept 12, double. 2.36 chances created per match, they've created 2.61. Biggest win 4-0. Theirs is 6-1. Ours is 4-0. Worst defeat. And look at them, 2-1 defeat. So looking at that, Sam, obviously, look at the wins, look at the losses, look at the clean sheets. In terms of goal scoring and goals conceding, yes, we're shocking at conceding goals, but chances created as well. We're not that far off from them, but it's that usual, isn't it? Create the chance, finish them. That success rate. Almost 2 minutes chalk and cheese because they obviously taking their chances, whereas we're not. Yeah,
and I think that's been the actual talk recently is that we're not performing well enough in the front areas as much as we're exposed from a defensive perspective. We're not the forwards aren't doing their job, and we're getting caught out in transition because teams know how to play against us. That combination isn't going to be good. You know what I mean? You're not scoring the goals, and obviously giving the opportunities to other teams, and they're going to score from it. You don't want to be giving a team like Manchester City too many opportunities to score because if you look at it, they create almost as many chances, slightly more than us per match. But if you look at the goals that they've probably scored, well, you can see from the last 5 games how many chances they do actually take. And they're getting goals from all over the place. Guardiola scored 2 the other day, passed up on the penalty to get a hat-trick. Not me. If I'm him, I'm taking that, even if I miss. You know what I mean? So, what do I expect from this tomorrow? If you look at the biggest differences there, it's the wins. If you turn some of them games that we had, where we've been shocking and we should have won, Wolves games come to mind. Both those Wolves games come to mind. There's a couple of games. West Ham comes to mind. There's the Chelsea one.
Yeah.
2 games against Chelsea where it's been terrible. But obviously the one where we was 9 men down. The Liverpool game. There's so many games where we could have possibly picked up a win. And if you keep the amount of draws the same, you pick up 3 or 4 more wins, which we could have feasibly done. We'd be a lot higher up on the table. It's obvious statement. But it's the way the teams are playing now. If we're looking at how we're playing against what City's playing now, there should only be 1 winner tomorrow. Only 1 winner. But it will probably be Tottenham.
And also, if you you were just talking about the goals and that, yeah. So if you look, they've scored 89 goals. We've scored 71. So we've only scored 18 goals less than them, right? And people are saying we're shit, blah, 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 but we're only 18 behind. But the biggest difference is they've conceded 20. Sorry. Hold on. Where have I gone? City have scored 91 goals. Sorry. 91. We've scored 71. So they've scored 20 more goals than us. The biggest difference is they've conceded 33 and we've conceded 59 goals.
Almost double.
Almost double, yeah.
Almost double. And that kind of matches in with the clean sheets. Double the amount of clean sheets.
Yeah.
It's Sid, we've done this all season.
Yeah.
And I think from the time after that Chelsea game, I think we've seen what the situation was. Even from the first game of the season, we knew that teams were going to get opportunities to score against us. But at that time, we were outscoring teams, we were out possessioning teams, and we had a style of play that nobody had a grip on. Once you've got a grip on our style of play with the players that we've got, because they're not obviously at the level that I think we need to be able to play this type of football consistently well, you're going to get what we're going to get. And Ange did say that. But what I didn't expect was the consistent, right, we're just going to keep on doing that. We're just going to keep on doing that. We're just going to keep on doing that. I'm going to keep on playing Johnson on the left-hand side. Although I know he's not great on the left, I'm going to keep on playing Rakulu in the team. Although he's been shocking, I'm going to keep. Come on. Lo Celso coming on for 4 minutes for the last 4 or 5 games tells me that we don't want this player. And has no faith in this guy. When Maddison has been dropped for the same amount of games, the last couple of games, apart from obviously last game, and Lo Celso's not starting. What's going on?
Exactly. Luca, Tottenham need a left back if City play Bernardo against Emerson. Long day. We're not playing a left back tomorrow. We're leaving that vacant position. We're only playing with 10 men tomorrow.
No, we're playing with Emerson. That's like playing with 10 men anyway, Sid. Play Emerson, we'll play with 10 men.
Oh, yeah, 10 men. Yeah, that's true. Right, so then, are you ready for this? This is what I reckon tomorrow. This is what the team's going to be tomorrow. Yeah, are you ready?
I'd love to see this.
Guess who's in goal, Sam?
Pat Jennings.
Optimus Prime.
I was going to say, drag Pat Jennings out. You know what I mean? Put him in.
So I think Ben Foster in goal. I don't think he changes Pedro Porro, Emerson Royal, Romero, and Van der Ven at the back. I was going to put Dragusin in, but I thought, no, let's keep it a little bit comfortable there. Midfield 3, I've gone with Højbjerg, Ollie Skip, and Lo Celso. Mikey Moore was in with a shout. And up top, I've gone with Johnson, Gill,
you are fully taking the piss. If we played that team, the amount of the Arsenal fans would start a page, because they'd say that's unsportsmanlike and it's not a team that's competitive. That's what they'd say.
Let me stop you there, Sam. All professionals, all contracted to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, all entitled to play a game. Why not? Jews, I'm not taking the piss.
So he's taking the piss. He's taking the piss, Jews. He's taking the piss.
Listen, Mikey Moore was going to get in there, and then it was a choice between Donnelly and Scarlett for up top. Son's tired. Give him a rest. Maddison's not in form. Give him a rest. Kulu's been shit. Give him a rest. Optimus Prime in goal. He can lead the Decepticons, or whatever you call them.
It's never, ever going to be. Listen, if we ever saw Forster in goal tomorrow, I would actually say, Ange, yeah, come on, Ange. You know what's going on. But we're not. We're not.
All right, don't play Forster. Play Austin in goal then.
You're not going to see. Right. We know.
Right, okay.
Listen.
All jokes aside, Sam. All jokes aside. All right. Okay.
I knew you had to come with side, because I knew you had to be playing about. I knew.
Right.
You know what's
Vicario in goal. Pedro Porro, Ollie Skip at left back, Romero, Van der Ven. Now, I was going to put Van der Ven at left back because everyone's crying out for him to play left back because we saw what he'd done. Bring in Dragusin. But the problem I've got with Dragusin is he's a right-footed, and we've sort of seen he's not that comfortable playing on the left side. However, I might... Go on.
Exactly. Do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Exactly what we should do tomorrow is play Van de Ven in that left back position, because it will see if he can play that. But because we know that he hasn't got the ability, sorry, it's going to be very difficult for him to be tracking back all the time to get back to what he would do if he's playing centre back. Play Dragusin there, play him on the left hand side, and that way he will get opportunities to score against us.
Yeah. So that's what I think, right? That's what I think, because it doesn't matter. He can play there. So do we play him there? I personally think we know he is gonna, right? He is gonna. But we never know. I mean, he sort of knew that Skip didn't have it. Well, he done all right, but naturally we saw how good Van de Ven was at left back, and he's played there before. So that's what I would do. But it's whether he trusts Dragusin to come straight in and take that left back, left centre back position. Midfield, then I've got with Basuma, Papasar, and Maddison. I go with them same three. However, there's a shout for Lo Celso to start, but I think I've penciled Lo Celso to come in on the 89th minute. Yeah, I've heard that he's going to be 89. I'm predicting, I might even put a bet on this, 85 minute onwards, he might come on as a substitute, depending. So that's what I think is going to happen. And then the front three, I'm going to go with Johnson, Kulusevski, and Son up top. This is what I think Ange will do. Only little twiggle might be Van de Ven left with Dragusin starting. Apart from that, I think this is what he'll do.
Okay, my comment on this team. So Ange has not led me to believe that he cares anything other than his performance in terms of what he wants to do. And what I mean by that is he said clearly, everywhere I've been, I've created this dynamic, I've created a football philosophy, and I'm going to stick by it, I'm going to stick by it, and I'm going to stick by it. Don't care who the opposition is, mate, I'm going to stick by it. So I don't expect him not to stick by his principles tomorrow. We all want him to do this, and we all want him to do that, but he's going to be competitive. He is going to try to play his strongest team, because he wants to measure how good he is against the best teams in world football. Doesn't matter. And I don't think in his head it matters whether Arsenal win the league or not. He should be if you're a Spurs DNA through and through, but we know that these managers are not. So why would he say, just because Arsenal won the league and we helped him? He don't care. So I can see the team being Vicario, Porro, Romero. I think that he'll play Dragusin tomorrow, and he'll play Van de Ven on the left, just to see if he wants to give Van de Ven a bit of a break. And there's a point there about it's more demands. There is more demands, but we don't know whether or not Van de Ven can actually play there with those demands unless we see him play there for a period of time. So again, what better time to do that in the last couple of games of the season? Yeah,
but Sam, the flip side to that is, would you or Postecoglou want, if we played a high line like we did against Arsenal, against Liverpool, against everybody, would he want to see if Guardiola or Walker or whoever Stones or wants to put that ball over the top? Would you want to see a Haaland versus Van de Ven or a Haaland versus Dragusin? Hand on heart, forget this about Arsenal winning the league and all that bullshit. He's not going to have a one-on-one with Dragusin, because Dragusin, I don't think, has got the pace. So Postecoglou is going to be looking at that and thinking, well, I need Van de Ven at centre-back, because they're going to be a lot of one-on-one runs. And I think there's only one player that's going to be able to catch up with any of the City players, and that's Van de Ven. That's the way I think he's going to think.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to start Skip at left back. So he's either going to start Van de Ven or Emerson Royal. Now, if he's thinking from a perspective of, I don't really want, I'm not saying don't want Arsenal to win. If he's thinking it doesn't really matter what this result is, because we're at the end of the season, we're going to be probably fifth now, unless we actually, Chelsea have a real win the last two games, then I think he should be playing to look to see what players can do. Is Emerson Royal going to be playing for us at left back next season? No, he's not. Is there a potential that Van de Ven is playing for us at left back? Potentially, depending on what Udogie does. Dragonson, we've all talked about Dragonson. He needs to be seen if he can play at this level. So I'd play him against City just to see if he can cope with Haaland, regardless if he plays on the left or on the right. It's intelligent footballers that we need. We need to know whether he can do it at this level. So I would put the team as being potentially Van der Ven on left and Dragonson. I think he's going to probably play Skip or Emerson Royal. I hope he plays Emerson Royal. You're right. I think Van der Ven will stay centre back. It will be their midfield three. And I think it'll be the same front three that started the last game.
Yeah, but I think, like you said here, I think I'd swap Kulu and Son, because we obviously know how well Son does on the left. It is non-existent. And against City, all right, he has scored many goals against them. But going into tomorrow's game, to be fair, Stones, Diaz, Aki, Akanji, Walker, whoever, he's not going to stick a chance. So yeah, put Kulu in. I would even start Kulu, to be fair. I'd even start with Scarlett and put Son on the left, to be fair, because at least you've got a natural striker there. But it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. And just one thing, Leslie, this 40 million, it's just rumours, and I think it's rinse and repeat on social media now. Somebody's got hold of it and everyone's sending it. There's no way we're going to buy a player for 20 and then sell him for 40, not even tried him out. I think Postecoglou's given the green light for him to be bought. So I don't understand why he would, because we're looking at getting another centre-back. If you get rid of Dragusin, that means you're going to have to get two centre-backs in, which doesn't make sense. His agent can make all the fucking noise that he wants, yeah? Because when he signed, they must have had that conversation and said, sorry, you're not getting into this first team. My number ones are Romero and Van der Ven. You have to then get in if they get injured, and then you have to battle your way and this, that, the other. Yeah, so they can make all the noise, and I've put it on the groups. His agent is going to make so much noise. But listen to what his parents said. I think his dad said it, or his mom. He's a young lad. He's learning the game. He's learning coming to a new country. He has to earn his position. He has to get into that team and then stay there. You have to buy your time. And these rumours are not going to stop.
Okay. So I'll put a few things on that. Uncomfortable conversations again.
Yeah.
I'm questioning Ange Postecoglou's talent ID. I'm not saying that he's not going to get it right, but I think I'm questioning it because he said he wanted Johnson. He said clearly Johnson was going to make that. He wanted to get Timo Werner in because he said he was going to do all the rest of it. He got in Solomon. He okayed Dragonson to come in January. And then Van der Ven, great signing. So I take that as being the positive that we've got so far. But if you think about the others, go on.
I was going to say, two of them, don't forget. One was a freebie and one was a freebie with 6 months. So they probably were no-brainers for him.
Yeah. But do you think they made a big difference to us this season?
Hell no. Werner, maybe as an impact player, yes. But the other one, absolute waste of time, and send him back. That's my opinion, because they want money for him. Yeah. I don't see him figuring in the Spurs team next season.
Exactly. So Solomon, who was at Fulham, he had some part at Fulham, didn't play that much, had injuries. We brought him into our team or our squad thinking he was going to do something different. Again, Johnson was at Nottingham Forest, played World Championship, got them up. What we were expecting to do, be a Jude Bellingham. No, he's not going to be that. He's not got that talent. So we've got players in here, which I don't think the talent ID has been good enough for our long. We can't be paying £47 million for Brennan Johnson when I don't know how much West Ham paid for Kudos. What's his name?
40.
Sorry, say again.
It's about 40 odd million they paid for him.
Yeah. Paqueta, I don't know how much they paid for him.
Yeah, but the thing is, Sam, Johnson was an upcoming young player. I don't think anybody was expecting him to come in this season firing. I think there's room for improvement, and I think, given time, he comes good. I
agree. But we can't use this young player thing when we've seen the Brathwaites, we've seen the Kobe Mainus, we've seen the Cole Palmers. Who else?
Yeah, Palmer said. Yeah, Palmer.
Oh, Cole, you said it yourself. Yeah. We've seen Van der Ven. He's 22. He's younger. I think he's younger than Johnson, or very much the same age. We can't say, oh, well, we paid 47 million, we need to give him time. No, if you pay 47 million pounds, whether you're 19, 20, 21, you're expected to perform. because that's what you've been paid. And now people say, oh, it's a tax because he's British. Is he in the England squad? No, he's not close to the England squad. He's not close to the England squad. Brennan Johnson.
Because he plays for Wales.
Oh, sorry. I'll take that back. Woo, rewind that. That was stupid. Ooh, I'm going to get clipped off of that. No, he does play for Wales. But again, he plays for Wales. I should put that in. He plays for Wales. Did he have an opportunity to play for England? Possibly did. But he chose Wales. He chose Wales. That tells me everything. He ain't going to be in the England team or England squad. He was never likely to be. So choose Wales. Sorry about that, people, about if you support Wales. I apologise. But my point was, he's not good enough. He's not. And we can say that he's got time. If you just look at his talent levels, he done some things in the game where, like you said, head down, I'm going to cross the ball, but it's going over to the bloody corner flag. It's not anywhere near the goal. And you're 1 yard out and you can't.
There you go, Sam. Johnson has more Premier League goals and assists than Martinelli, Mudryk, Garnacho, Rashford, Grealish, Doku, Diaby, Trossard, Eze, and Kudus.
And what's that trying to prove? That we should keep him and we should build a team around him?
I don't think we should build a team around him, but I think he should be part of that team.
The question I'll ask then, people, or Leslie, I'll ask that same question to you. Would you swap Johnson for Eze? Would you swap Johnson for Kudus? Would you swap Johnson for Trossard, Diaby, Doku, Grealish, Rashford, Garnacho, maybe Mudryk? You'd say, I wouldn't. Martinelli. Everyone apart from Mudryk, I would say that you would. And even Mudryk, I'd probably say now, maybe. Please, you can use them stats in that situation, but then you can also use Timo Werner's stats and use the same thing and say, he's got more assists in 12 games that he's been here than any of these other players, but he's shit.
But the thing is, don't forget, we bought Johnson off how well he played for Forest last season, and he was on fire for them. So we've bought him on that. And in his, all of them, majority of them have already been in the Prem. Yeah. Eze, yes, he's doing bits at the moment for Palace. When he gets that big move, will he sustain that? We don't know. Same with Kudus. Trossard, he's gone to a team, an elite team that was better. Yeah, and he's got players around him that put it on a plate for him. Hence, we could have bought him, but we didn't for 5 million or whatever. So he's gone there. Would he have been the same player at Tottenham? Maybe not. Yeah. And then the Grealish situation, Doku on and off is another, I think is another Traore, just a slightly bit better polished than him. But it is one of them, and it's one of these uncomfortable conversations. Johnson is a squad player. Didn't see why we paid 42 million. The reason we paid 42 million is because Forest got done by this FFA thing and they got rid. They're saying we underdone them. They're saying he should have been worth a hell of a lot more. Imagine, Sam, if we had paid 55, 60 million for him. Then what would fans be saying? Exactly. So for 47, yeah. So anyway.
Okay. I think the Johnson thing, there's a debate to have because of, like I said, we'll see next season. But I agree with some of these. Johnson, not with that one. There was a one there before. Johnson's a squad player from Tuesday night. Didn't see why we paid 47 million for him. 47 million, just to get it right. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. We can do it. We can dissect it all day and say that his goals and assists. I'm looking at his talent levels. Look at his talent levels and what he does up here. I can see players who have got, you can see them. They need to improve. We need to give them time, but you can see their talent. You can see their talent. You can see what Elise has. You can see what Eze has, even though they're playing for Crystal Palace. But now they've got a bit more of a structure around them and a manager that allows them the freedom. You can see what they've got. It's not just their talent. They can actually build a team around them. If you're telling me, and anybody in the chat's telling me, that we should be looking at Brennan Johnson in the same way as they look at Eze and Elise, you're off your rocker, mate. You're off your rocker.
Uncomfortable conversation, part 204, as Jude says, because we're sort of digressing away from the game tomorrow evening.
Sorry.
So, yeah, potential lineup then, in my opinion, it'll probably be this. But let's see what Ange comes up with. now it comes to that part, Sam. And listen, yeah, forget this shit. Them lot down the road, whatever. Yes, I don't even know why I'm asking anyone to score prediction because nobody wants Spurs to win tomorrow. Nobody wants.
No, some people do. Some people do who think that we can get fourth.
Yeah,
because that's the only reason why we should be winning tomorrow. If there was a realistic possibility of us getting fourth, I think, yeah, that would be some people's argument.
Okay, so score prediction then for tomorrow. Yeah, I know. Juice Nuts has already gone in there. 5-1 to Manchester City. Juice, is that hand on the heart, or are you just saying that because you don't want Arsenal to win the title? But realistically, Sam, all jokes aside,
yeah,
all about them lot down the road, the title, us handing it to them, blah blah blah. We've been there, we've seen it all. It's Groundhog Day. We've said it how many times? Same old, same old. Are you expecting it to be the same old with City getting the points again tomorrow?
It's in serious terms, Sid, I expect us to put in a performance tomorrow. I expect the players to really give it their all, and I expect it to be 10-0 City. That's what I expect. I expect us to throw everything at them. I expect us to do exactly the thing, and then City will do exactly what other teams haven't done to us and put us to the sword. Because if we play in the same way that we played against all them other teams, and think all them other teams that we played, Sid, all them other teams who are nowhere near City's level, that have looked like worldies, if City don't beat us 10-0 tomorrow, shame on them.
Leslie Crawford thinks Spurs 2, Man City 2. Interesting. No, listen, honestly, everyone, thank you for all your comments. Please make sure you just chuck in your score prediction for tomorrow, whether it's just because you don't want them not to win the league or hand on the heart and you want Spurs to win. Would love to see what your score prediction is. I honestly think, Sam, me and you, and Sean and everybody else, we've been there almost every game this season. We've seen Spurs play. We've watched them on telly away games. Nothing changes. It's the same. Yeah. I don't see us changing anything different tomorrow just because it's Man City, just because we want to stop Arsenal from winning the league. Postecoglou's conference before pre-match talk is not, lads, we don't want Arsenal to win the league.
Of course not.
Yeah. We don't want them to win the league. You go out there, you've given me fuck all this season. You go out there and you give 1,000% and you win that game to stop them fuckers winning the league. That's not going to happen. Yeah, that is not going to happen. He's going to go in there and, all right, mate, how's it going, mate? Right, go out there, do your thing. You ain't done it all season, so I don't expect anything different from you guys. Just go out there and do your thing. That's what I'm thinking. So
I would expect that to be the case, but I would then expect Ryan Mason to go behind his back whilst he's looking at the board and say, listen, James, fuck off, don't listen to what he's saying. It's about on the pitch. Listen, and when he look back, go, I was listening, boss. And then when he turns around and points to the board, Madison, son, fuck, play yourself in the middle, mate. Put cool. Just do it when you're playing. Don't play on the left, play in the middle. That's what I expect, because these players should be looking at this game tomorrow and thinking, if they've got anything about them in terms of Spurs in their DNA, you cannot show us heart tomorrow, because that would just destroy everything that as Spurs fans, because we should have, I keep saying that, we should have shown that heart before. Why would we come out and try and go all guns blazing to beat City, knowing what's on the line potentially?
So if that's the case, why on God's given earth did they not do that when we played Arsenal 3 games ago at our home stadium? The fans were well and truly up for it and we went 4-0 down. Where was the heart? Where was the commitment? Where was Ryan Mason going to them players and saying, guys, it's fucking Arsenal. We've got to beat these lot to stop them getting further to get the league. Where was it there? Why now does it have to be against Man City, who are not even our rivals? Our biggest rivals came to our ground and they absolutely pissed on our pot. Yeah, absolutely pissed on our pot, and we were 4-0 down. And like you said, we came back, we scored 2 goals because they took the foot off the pedal.
Yeah. So the thing in the last the biggest thing for me that I've said about this team, and I've been consistent about, is I don't think we've got enough fighters. I don't think we've got enough spirit. I don't think we've got enough heart. I don't think the mentality of these players when they're challenged in a certain way is strong enough. And that's been proven out by what we've seen this season. That's not just a players thing, and it's not just it's a club thing. I think the club mentality needs to change. The reason I think that is because we haven't won anything in X amount of times. And some of these players don't have that belief that they can win anything because, again, it's tough. It's tough to win anything. But you can show fight. I don't care how good you are or how not good you are. That is a given. You run about, as Gary Neville used to say. The least you can do is run about. I've seen players jogging back and other players beating them to make tackles. I've seen players give the ball away and not necessarily think it's much. Remember that Jodi one? He gave the ball away, kind of jogging back.
Yeah.
It's things like that, little things like that that I remember, which shows me that they don't have the mentality. They don't have that fighting spirit. Because if you did, you'd have shown it. And regardless of you win, lose, or draw, we can come away from watching that and say, well, they tried this. What game have you seen in those last 5 where you thought to yourself, yeah, apart from the odd 15 or 20 minutes here or there, not much. Not much. So
all season, Sam, we've said this. Yeah.
See, we're talking like it's a surprise. The biggest surprise for me will be tomorrow if these players show that level of determination to try and match City in a sense of, right, we're gonna try and out football them, we're gonna try and out fight them, we're gonna win every first and second ball. If they show that tomorrow, I'll be very, very disappointed. Not because we shouldn't be showing that, because why? What is it about this game that makes you think? And that will be Ange, because I think, and this is an uncomfortable conversation again, I'm not sure Ange is not necessarily saying that he doesn't want to win anything, but I think he's almost got this FIFA 224, whatever you want to call it, mentality that he wants to build the perfect team. And because when you get that perfect team should be perfect to be able to win everything. That's what he wants. But life doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. Life is not perfect.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect. Listen, if they show up tomorrow, if they put in a performance for 90 minutes tomorrow, I kid you not, I want every single one of them players, including the manager and the backroom staff, at the end of the season, to have an open day meeting at the Hotspur Stadium with all the fans that have been all season and watch shit football performances in bits and bats in 15-minute spells. I want them to come and give me an explanation on why they've not turned up the whole season, not played, and just want to turn up for one game. Yeah, if that happens tomorrow, because yes, I don't want Arsenal to win the league, but Arsenal are not winning the league just by us beating Man City. Arsenal have kept fucking clean sheets and they've scored goals to win games. Yesterday, I think they were saying they've kept 20-odd clean sheets. You win clean sheets, you win titles. So one game is not going to determine their history or them losing the title or winning the title. It's what you've done throughout the whole season. And they've been consistent throughout the whole season. We haven't. And if they turn up tomorrow and just put in a blinding of a performance, then I want questions. And that's what I want, an uncomfortable conversation on that as well. Putting it all aside. Yeah. I don't want them to win the league. But I don't want them to put in a performance tomorrow because you've been shit all season. So just do what you got to do. I think whether we put in a performance or not put in a performance tomorrow, City are going to be too good for us.
They will be too good for us. They should be on. Okay? Motivation is a massive factor in professional sport. It is in general anyway. You're motivated to do something, you usually perform better. What's our motivation for tomorrow? In terms of winning the game, what's our motivation? Is it to try and get to top 4? Well, even if we were to win tomorrow, I think there's a difference of 4 points between us and Villa?
Yeah.
At this moment in time?
That depends on what happens to Villa tonight.
Okay, so Villa played how many games? 36, the same amount of games as us?
Yes.
And we've played 36 games between us both. 4 points difference. So we win technically tomorrow, they lose, it's 1 point. And it goes down to the final day of the season. Yeah. I think Villa are at home on their final day. I might be wrong on that. Someone check that out.
I'll check it. Carry on.
If that's the case, Villa would be motivated to win the last game of the season. So even if they lose tonight, their motivation levels to get top 4 would be high. So it's still not in our hands anyway, if that makes sense. Is that right? If they lose tonight, we win tomorrow, it's still 1 point behind them?
We're 1 point behind them, yeah.
And their last game, I think, is at home?
Their last game is away to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace.
Ooh, now that's interesting because that Crystal Palace team is looking decent at the moment. But again, still comes back to that same point. If you're motivated to really win that game, and if I put those teams on paper, if you look at the Crystal Palace team and you look at the Aston Villa team, the Aston Villa team is better, but the Crystal Palace team is playing well at the moment.
Yeah.
Motivation level. So again, I don't see why that would be the case for 1 point to go. I don't want to see us win tomorrow. I want to see Villa draw to get against Liverpool or even beat Liverpool, and then we can all be happy, go Sheffield United on Sunday and be like, yay, well done. That's all I want to be able to do, mate.
This is it.
I'm not going to lie.
Right, so honestly now, what's the score prediction for tomorrow?
10-0 City, Sam! So, see, calling myself. Calling you.
10-0. You're going with 10-0.
Okay. All right. I'm going to scale it back. 5-1 City. I'm going to go with that 5-1 scoreline.
You're going 5-1.
Yeah.
I'm going 3-1 to City, to be fair. I think 3-1. I think, do you know what? Even 2-1 for City, or even 1-0 they'll take, as long as they get the win, whichever way. But I think with our defence and the way they play, I think they'll score 3. They'll break that record or the hoodoo of not scoring at the Tottenham. Apparently, they sent Barry Fry to the stadium yesterday to piss on 4 corners of the pitch so that they can undo the voodoo that's Pep Scott at not scoring at the Hotspur Stadium. So, yeah, 3-1 then. Sam, it's been a pleasure. We've done the reaction for the Burnley and we've done the Man City preview for tomorrow evening. Again, everyone, thank you, everyone in the comment section. We've had Juice Nuts, Brinton Solomon, Leslie Crawford. We've had Jason Dent, Dinosaur's been in the house. Jay Ashraf's been in the house. JJ Luca AFC as well. He's praying that Tottenham. He's doing take that, isn't he? All I do is sit and pray, hoping that Tottenham can beat Man City at home. Not going to happen. But anyway, thank you everyone for all your comments as well. Make sure if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Pass it on to all your friends, colleagues. Let them have a look at this, have a go, watch it. The more we get, the more content we'll continue bringing. Lots of uncomfortable conversations coming up. Reaction show to the Man City game, and then finally preview Sheffield United and the reaction to the Sheffield United game. Sam,
let's just have a quick. Can I just put this comment up here?
Of course you can.
Brinton Solomon, are you a Spurs fan or you not? I don't know, Brinton. If you wanted to say that, well, if you are, no European ambitions, no titles, no quality players. So I'm not sure he is a Spurs fan. But you're right. We don't have European ambitions. We don't have the ambitions to win titles. We don't have quality players. So I'm not sure. So that makes us a circus? Yeah, sure, it might make us a circus. But as I said, us saying that what we're saying now isn't because we don't want our team to be successful. But what I'm saying is, if they haven't shown that already, what is the motivation for us to show anything for that European ambition tomorrow? Knowing what we know about the title race, it makes no. It will be absolutely a mindfuck to see my players go out tomorrow, put the most effort in to try and beat a City team, knowing that if they do that, you could give Arsenal the lead. Make it make sense. I can't understand why that makes sense.
Listen,
that's why.
Every Arsenal fan, if they were playing Man City tomorrow and Tottenham had the chance of winning the league, don't laugh. They'd be the same. Man City fans, Man United stopping the league, Liverpool, Man United, Crystal Palace, Brentford, whoever you want to say, yeah, Brighton, whoever, yeah. Their fans will not want their team to lose, to stop an opponent from winning the league. So it is what it is. It's unfortunate that it's in our hands tomorrow, but we reverse it next season or whenever, every other fan will be the same. So it is what it is, and it'll be interesting to watch Spurs get beat tomorrow. Sid,
it's already been. There's proof. There's information out there to show that will be the case. When we got into the Champions League final, I knew Arsenal fans who were Liverpool fans
I know.
All that period of time up until
Yeah.
that final, when they knew we would get to the final.
Exactly.
And they cheered to the rooftops when we lost that. Don't be silly. This is what we do. We're fans.
We're fans.
It's tribal. We don't want you don't want your rivals, your main rivals, to be doing better than you. Although we know Arsenal are better than us, but they didn't want us to win a Champions League before them.
Exactly.
Come on, they don't want us to win anything.
Exactly. And vice versa. Liverpool, Man United fans. Even now, I've got loads of Man United friends, and Liverpool friends. And even yesterday, I'm like, Liverpool fan was texting me saying, I hope you lot lose to City because I don't want Arsenal to win the league. It's even Liverpool, it's rivalry. It's for fans. That's how they are. That's what's so good about the Prem and the fans. We love each other and we hate each other because you don't want your opponents to win something and you don't win anything. And if you can stop them, even better, even better. Sam, I've got to go in a minute. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone in the comment section. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure doing this show. Love doing it. Love doing it with Sam, Sean, everybody else as well. And it's not the same without everyone's interaction in the comment section. So as always, thank you very much for the whole season. Thank you for joining us in the hard times that we've had as Spurs fans. You know, it's been great. It's been great. But we go onwards. 3 more shows until the end of the season. So please stay with us, continue with us, and make sure you join us for the reaction show. Win, lose, a draw, win. But obviously they're all hoping for a loss.
Sid, if we have a reaction show where we win the game, I don't know how that's going to pan out. I don't know how I don't know what I'll be able to say.
Listen, you're Bodie, I'm Doyle. We are professionals. We go as we go. We will do it as professionals. Anyway, right.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
As always, should we be saying, come on, you Spurs tomorrow?
Just say you Spurs. Just say you Spurs. You Spurs!
Yeah.
Develop